Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is a Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, March 8th, and this is news I covered over the past week at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. First up, SAPE Links, S-A-P-E Links. It's supposedly a Russian link network. There are dozens of reports out there that was the latest link network that Google went after, so they supposedly crushed it. A lot of people are still saying it works. But I have pretty good sources saying that Google specifically went after the SAPE link network. That being said, there's forum threads at Black Hat World, Black Hat Group, and a bunch of other forums talking about specifically this. In fact, Matt Cutts a month ago went ahead and tweeted, "It's just another day at the office for me. Okay, gotta look at some really naughty Russian link selling software now." It really matches what we're talking about here. And there are a bunch of other threads with specific people saying they actually got hurt by this update and they were using the SAPE link network. Advertorial spam. So remember we talked about it a week or so ago. Interflora, a big UK flower company. Looks like the lighting is not so great, I apologize. Anyway, you don't really have to see me. Anyway, they were unpenalized, or they're breaking again now after 11 days of a penalty. I guess what they must have done was remove all the advertorials. Went ahead and submitted a reconsideration request, and Google probably popped them back into the index. Google's Matt Cutts did a video on the philosophy on how and why and when Google actually removes spam from their index manually. One thing Google wanted to make clear is that Google does not ban sites specifically only because they are being critical of Google. Two is Google has very clear Webmaster guidelines. Google says it's very easy for clear-cut cases. They have a lot of training so that they're consistent. They do shadow training. They also do manual review penalties by new Googlers. They actually review these penalties after the fact. They do random spot checks as well. There's a philosophical question in the gray spam area zones. So they work together when there is like a gray area to figure out if they should go ahead and do anything. And they are not bound by the particular review. They look at a whole holistic picture. So for example, if somebody's a repeat spammer and so forth, they'll actually take a holistic approach as opposed to just saying, here's the actual guideline. Google released late last Friday how search works. It's pretty cool. It shows you a lot of things in terms of how the search process works. It's good for newbies, but there's a lot of detail there good for SEOs as well. Google has specifically launched a little index that basically shows you the spam pages Google manually removed from the Google's index, and they show you about 50 every hour. So it's good to see these types of results. Google shows a chart showing you manual actions taken, like by category, how many were removed and why. Also, they have a reconsideration request chart showing you how many reconsideration requests were requested over time, as well as how many Webmaster notifications they actually sent out. Plus, Google finally published publicly their Google Quality Rater Guidelines. The only issue, as Matt McGee points out in his article, they removed a lot of the content that was in the original or latest version of the Quality Guidelines. Talking about that, because of that, Google has this interface that actually shows you the latest spam pages removed, 50 every hour or so. So I built a search engine, basically at rustybrick.com/google/spam/results.php that you can access and actually show you all the pages that Google has removed that they shared over there. So it keeps adding more every day, 50 every hour or so. It lets you search to see if your site was impacted or in that index. It lets you actually browse through them as an archive. So instead of just Google showing 50, I said, hey, let's capture every single one Google shares. And we're currently almost at 5,000 pages that Google has shared and removed. We have the thumbnail, we have the snippet, the URL title snippet, and the date and time Google actually removed it. And you can always use a search feature to actually see if your site was ever removed. Definitely take a look at it. It's kind of fun to look at. We posted our Google Webmaster March report, talking about a lot of things, and obviously it's basically a summary of what happened with Google, specifically Webmaster related over the past month. If you want to take a look at that, we have the post on March 7th at seroundtable.com. Google, Matt Cutts again talked something new video-wise. He said on the HTML5 Ajax side, if you're using Ajax navigation, you should probably use push date instead of using the hashbang feature. Just because Google doesn't have to do anything extra in order to understand it. They can understand it, but they don't have to do anything extra. Tomer Hoden, he spoke at XNX Israel, I think twice at least. He's a great guy. He used to work for several years in the search quality team in Ireland. But now he's involved on the AdSense side, and his title, or one of his titles, is basically the publisher quality enforcer. How's that for a name? Publisher quality enforcer. He's an enforcer of publisher quality. Anyway, he posted a new document on the AdSense guidelines section about responsibility for user-generated content. And it basically says you, as the publisher, are responsible for the user-generated content on your website. That being said, it has a lot of documentation on how you can actually enforce that and make sure that your content, your user-generated content, is in guidelines with Google's guidelines. Google Images has now added one more feature to remove as much traffic as possible to your own website. So obviously they did the redesign and people are reporting their traffic dropped 80% or more from Google Images. Now they also added a feature called Try These Also. When you actually click on an image, and I'll show you a screenshot, they actually show other images that are related to that image to take you away from getting traffic to your site. Google is testing a new user interface. Specifically, they're testing a Chrome-like, Android-like, Google mobile-like button that you click on and it brings down the navigation. I think it's kind of cool, but it's not currently live. It's basically, looks like it's currently being tested. Google has updated their Google Plus cover photos. They're much taller and larger. They also made some other changes. They made a new tab for local reviews and an easier way to update and edit your About tab now. It's a whole new About tab actually for the Google Plus. Google released this the morning before, the day before, Facebook's big announcement on their redesigned newsfeed, where they're actually making it much more beautiful, streamlined, easier to understand, quickly consolidating, seeing how people actually share your content, and obviously a unified design approach for both desktop, tablet, and mobile. We have screenshots this morning at seroundtable.com. Do the Harlem Shake. So this is a YouTube video. If you're on YouTube anyway, just click onto YouTube, do a search for Do the Harlem Shake on YouTube, and the whole entire page will shake like a Harlem Shake. It's pretty funny. I have a video on it on March 4th at seroundtable.com. Logos. Google has a Miriam Makabaz, I'm sorry. I'm horrible with these names. Basically, she is known for her civil rights movement, Grammy Award-winning singer, South African, and she would have been I think 81 today, or 81 this week. She died at the age of 76. She was born in 1932, so Google honored her life with a Google Doodle. And finally, today is International Women's Day. Google's honoring all the women out there with a special logo. It's in about 70 or so countries. Not every single country has this logo. I'm not sure why. Bing also has the thing, but Bestie Bauer from the Google Doodle team went ahead and did this logo, and she basically sat in a cafe looking at the different faces of different women, sketching them, and then putting together this Google Doodle based off those sketches. They're not of any specific women, meaning not any famous women, but they're actually of women that are just in a random cafe. So that pretty much recaps the Search Buzz Video Recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. Today again is March 8th. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Bye.